Hey everybody, today we're making chicken cacciatore. I have to, well, I'll get there in a second. So, to make this, we're going to start off with 4 to 6 chicken breasts. I've got 4. If you look in here, I seasoned them with salt and pepper, put a couple teaspoons of olive oil, and I'm just browning them really good on both sides. And then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. We have 1 20-ounce can of fresh tomatoes. Any brand will work. This is what they have to the store. 2 garlic cloves, but I only have 1 because in true Mindy fashion, I dropped 1 on the floor. Salt and pepper. I've got in here 1 red bell pepper cut up, 1 small carrot cut pretty thin, and 1/2 of a small onion diced. This is about 1/2 cup of diced mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, don't put them in. My kids think they don't like them, but they never taste them in this. So, and then in here, I've got about a teaspoon of oregano and a teaspoon of basil and a bay leaf. I prefer fresh basil, and if you want to use fresh basil, don't put that in until like 5 minutes before the dish is done. So now that this is brown. You got it browned on every side. You can use breasts, you can use really whatever you and your family prefer. So into that, we're going to put the carrots, onions, and peppers. And give this a stir. We'll just get down in there and start cooking. Now, a more traditional way would be with flour on these breasts, and you can do that. It just thickens the sauce a little bit. You can take the skin off. I like the bone in because it gives it more flavor, but you can cook these without the skin, make it a little bit more healthy for you. We're going to let that cook down for a little bit. You see in there? Get all those down there cooking. Just put the lid on, let them sweat out a little bit. So you can serve this dish with pasta, any kind. We are going to use, I think we have thin spaghetti. I'll have to pull it out in a minute because, well, the pasta's off the shelves at the store. So that's what we have. You can serve it over polenta. You can have it with rice. You can just serve it by itself with a nice side salad or a spinach salad. Really, it's whatever you prefer. My kids like pasta, so that's how we're gonna serve it. Delicious. So, yes, Christian loves pasta. I'm not gonna start that quite yet, but we're just gonna let this go for a couple minutes. I'm gonna get a cup here to measure, because we use about 1/4 cup of the chicken broth when we add it in, but you might need a little bit more. So we're going to leave this out just in case we need to add a little bit more. Depends on how thick you want it and things of that nature. Get the garlic ready to add in. I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic now. If you don't have one of these nifty little things, you can just dice it up. Garlic in there. Again, I would normally use 2 garlic cloves, but I dropped 1 on the floor, and the garlic I have, I need for other recipes this week. So we're going with that. If that's the case, you don't have fresh garlic, just throw in some garlic powder. It'll work. Okay, those onions are fine. Onions are starting to cook down. Bell peppers are starting to cook down. Once those onions are ready, it shouldn't be much longer. I'm gonna let it sweat just a little bit more. And we'll add the other stuff. So I have to share while this cooks. People are getting creative during this coronavirus and the stay-at-home orders, and we live in a small town, and I heard honking outside, and I'm like, oh, what the heck's going on? And the entire town, the school staff, drove by. They were honking their horns. They had signs. We miss you guys.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Shaking pom-poms. Teachers out the windows waving and saying hi to the kids. And it was, multiple teachers. It was very heartwarming. Made me tear up a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But I love that we live in a small community and things like that can happen. And I also love that the teachers care enough about the students to go out and do that and say, hey, we're thinking of you. We know this is hard. We love you and we miss you. So that was pretty neat. Pretty neat deal. All right, these onions are about done. So we're going to go ahead and add the mushrooms now. The mushrooms will cook up real fast, real fine. You won't even know they're in there. It's the only way I can get vegetables into my kid. It's usually my secret, but since he's the one videoing me, it's not much of a secret anymore, I guess.
That is good though.
See, they're already shrinking up. You won't even know that they're in there. If you don't like carrots, don't use carrots. Or if your kids are super picky, I mean mine's super picky, but he can just pick around this. Use a food processor and just make them so small that they can't even see them or know that they're in there. It's a good way to get some nutrients into your picky children. Yes, I'm talking to my videographer right now. You're pretty picky.
I'm not anymore.
All right, see how that, you can't even see the mushrooms really. What mushrooms? Exactly. The onions are soft, so to that, we are going to add our can of crushed tomatoes. If you can't find crushed tomatoes, but you have like whole tomatoes, smash them with your hands. It'll work out fine. So we added that. And then we're gonna add this chicken broth. Now this needs to simmer at least 25-30 minutes. I'm gonna let it simmer for about an hour and a half just because I've got a virtual meeting I have to jump onto. But check it, stir it every now and again, every 15 minutes or so. If you want more broth, add more broth. If you want it, you know, a little bit thinner than that. And then, oops. Then we're gonna add our spices and our bay leaf. And that's it, folks. We're going to let that cook. I think I might add just a little bit more chicken broth because it's going to thicken up as it cooks.
Oh. Someone said that a better way to pour something is not like this, but it at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on that. So you're going to bring this to a boil, and once that comes to a boil, you're going to put it on simmer. And then we will check back on this a little bit later. So